Today, kind of a hard one to take, considering how you guys you had a lot of hits, you had men on, you just couldn't kind of push them enough, across.
We just didn't play very good baseball. I mean, we went out there and way too often went through the motions, and you just can't do that. And when you do that, you get what you got today, and that's a lesson we have to learn. I mean, it's going to happen, but it doesn't make you any happier. And good ball clubs don't do that. They just don't do that. They don't go out and go through the motions, and we went through the motions way too much today.
Given all that, though, a couple of inches and a great play by Bell, and the game could have been,
Well, yeah, a lot of things happened. They played better than we did. The bottom line of the ball game is they played better offense, better defense, and they pitched better than we did. Although Carroll pitched very well, but they played much better defense than we did, and they got some big base hits when they needed to, and we had a lot of opportunities. We didn't get sack bunts down. We didn't get hit and runs down. We did a lot of things not very well.
One off the top thing, Valaket is anything new as far as?
No, I haven't heard his name in a month.
I know.
He's last I heard, he's still on schedule rehab wise, but it still may be the whole season before he's ready to play. So I tell you what, I'll try to look something up and see what I can find.
But no idea as far as when you may.
No, and I quite frankly, it would be quite a while yet. I mean, he was minimum maybe halfway through the year, but they were talking quite possibly the whole year.
I'm working on a Mesoraco feature.
Okay.
You being a catcher, when did you first see him in spring training, and what were your thoughts?
Well, the year we drafted him.
Right.
I saw him working out and practicing, and I saw he needed a ton of work as a catcher. Absolutely a ton of work. And he's done a ton of work and gotten a heck of a lot better.
What has he got better at? Overall, everything?
And
calling the game?
Everything. Yeah, and he's got a long way to go yet. I mean, there is still, I thought yesterday was one of the better all-around games he's had, especially with Dontrell, who's not an easy guy to catch. I thought it was one of his better games. So that's a positive. But, yeah, again, I'm hard on my catchers. So when you ask me that and I say that, you think, whoa, gee, this guy, he's come a long way and he's done a great job, and he is a major league prospect as a catcher. But I'm very critical and very hard on my catchers because my expectations are I don't want them to just be okay. I want them to be real good.
You may or may not be able to answer this. The #1 draft pick, he's not on the 40-man. Is that unusual, or?
As compared to what?
Well, is it just unusual not to have a #1 pick on the?
Most are not. You're talking because our last two have gone on the 40-man.
Yeah.
That's a rarity. You look around, that hardly ever happens. That's just something we have done. You don't put people on the 40-man roster until you have to. I mean, you just don't, because then you got to pay them a ton of money. When you're on the 40-man roster, you start using options.
Right.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to put them on the 40-man roster until you have to.
All right. Thanks, Rick.
You got it.
Saw Valeka in the cleanup spot today. Any reason for that?
Best guy I had.
All right.
One thing about Val is I could hit him first, second, third. I can hit him from first to ninth, and I know that he'll have the same quality at bats and won't try to do too much. In fact, you saw him try to drag bunt tonight. I took Frazier I gave Frazier the day off, and I didn't want to throw somebody in there and take them out of where they're accustomed to hitting. So it's just easier to plug Val in that spot.
Everything okay with Juan Francisco?
Yeah, that was strictly my call. The field was getting wet, wet grass, wet grounds. He's got a leg injury or rehabbing a leg injury. It'd be foolish for me to leave him there and have him get hurt.